Okay, war stories, folks. This is a hopefully quick tutorial in how to use a particular online resource when reading and thinking about the writing assignment that you will be doing for the things they carried. I know some of you have read the entire book. I know that some of you are maybe hoping to read the entire book, but as I explained on Friday in class, the expectation is not that you've read the entire text. It's expected you've read How to Tell a True War Story, The Man I Killed, and then you have to select an additional chapter that you're going to closely work with on that writing assignment. So this is just showing you one resource that might help you as you try to kind of navigate and negotiate the book. Some of you may be familiar with it. It's called LitCharts, and it's supposedly by the makers of SparkNotes. But anyhow, all you have to do is type in the things they carried. I've already done that. One thing, they're going to try to get you interested in their paid version. Oops, search, which you do not need. So just ignore that and just click on the things they carried. So this is similar to SparkNotes or eNotes or a lot of those resources, those kind of, I don't know, online. Some people, a lot of teachers consider them sort of cheating tools. I think sometimes they can be useful. And again, particularly in this case where you're having to kind of tackle this book in a piecemeal form. So they've got kind of the typical things, the plot summaries, detailed analysis and summary. These, here are all the chapters of this work of fiction. Brian does not call it a novel, nor does he call it a work of short stories. So anyhow, I like to term these chapters. Themes are, they've identified 5 themes. I wouldn't necessarily call these officially themes per se, but you get the idea. And the thing that LitCharts does that I don't think any of the other these online tools use is they really embed and kind of weave the themes throughout the rest of their of these sections, and they color code them. And so even if we look at quotes, you can choose a story, and they will, you can choose a chapter, I should say, well, or a short story. And then they give you the quote, they tell you who it is, and then they actually relate it to themes. Now, again, whose judgment is that? It depends on the writer. But I think it can be useful. And where particularly I like this feature is in something called the theme wheel. And a lot of people get kind of overwhelmed by this visual and abandon it. But I think, again, if you're looking to select a particular chapter for your close analysis, if you're completely unfamiliar with the book, this could be a useful way to kind of, get a better sense, even just from visuals, of what that chapter deals with. So what this is it's a breakdown of the entire book by chapters. So each of these numbers represents one of the chapters. The length indicates literally the length of the chapter, because each of these little segments are kind of a chunk within the chapter, and they're not entirely regimented in their length, but it's basically, this is a pretty clear ratio. I really would not recommend that you choose a chapter just because it's short. And I'm going to send out an email with some of my recommendations, which happen to be the longer chapters. But anyhow, it does give you a visual sense of that. And then for each chapter, so example for chapter 4, what these colors mean, and this is, I'm pretty sure, Rainy River. What these colors indicate are the themes that are prevalent at kind of each juncture, each chunk of the story. And if you click on that wedge and you go down here, and a lot of people don't see this, yep, on the Rainy River, and you can go to this detailed analysis. And this is where, again, this represents each chunk. It tells you at the beginning of the story or of the chapter, does a little analysis, gives you the related themes, and so on. And it goes through the entire chapter. So again, again, skip all this stuff where it's trying to entice you to click on things. Just keep going. Again, please do not just read these summaries and look at the themes and then write your analysis. You really should be obviously reading the chapter. But if you are particularly interested in any of these themes, this visual, again, could perhaps help guide you to an informed decision as you start to select a chapter, since if you don't have time to read the whole book, it might be hard to do that otherwise. Okay, hope this is helpful, and I managed to do it in under 5 minutes. Bye.